What's up, everybody? Welcome to another night of beautiful Overwatch. I am Schtitle 24, and I am joined by ElegantExcalibur for tonight's Owlet All-Star match. Man, I can't say that 6 times fast. Elegant, how are you doing tonight?
I'm tired, but ready to watch some memes.
So you ready for memes to not be dreams? You want them to be strats?
Well, we'll have to see. I am sure there's meme strats that are going to show up. I'm sure there's dreams, and then there's just solid facts and strats.
Well, let's take a quick look at our format, if you will, for today.
Today we'll be running control mystery heroes for our first map on Li Jiang Tower. We're gonna see some interesting maps for these rounds, considering
this will not be my first time casting mystery heroes, and it is always you can never predict what's gonna it's mystery heroes. Of course you can't predict what's gonna happen, but craziness always ensues.
Yeah, especially if you try to run the balanced mystery heroes as we saw yesterday.
That was I do want to say I didn't participate in that match of the Casters Clash, and I'm happy I didn't, because it would have been so infuriating to play. But it was hysterical to watch. Like 3 people die, and then as the other 3 have a very coordinated attack they're about to do, boop, everyone's back to spawn.
Deleted. All plans and dreams just destroyed.
I mean, you only have to kill 3 people to win a team fight.
Yeah, it's like the game decides, you know what the mystery is? Will you ever win the team fight?
Yeah, that would have been rough. I really hope that we're seeing some traditional mystery heroes here. I think that's kind of the best way to go. If they found a way to balance out the 2-2-2 thing and get the random teleportation aspect of it out, then that could be interesting. Just keep the supports on supports or something like that. But
yeah, unfortunately, I believe that version was created by Blizzard, and as we know and love the company, they are not amazing at making things completely foolproof.
Yeah, but there's got to be somebody in this Owlet community that can work the workshop and get us a balanced mystery hero format. That's got to be something you guys can do out there. I know y'all.
Yeah, someone out there, get us balanced mystery heroes 2.0.
Show Penguin how it's done.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, Penguinator.
Shout out to Penguinator, though, for helping put all of these things together.
And
wow,
while we wait,
having a rough time getting into this lobby.
For sure. While we're waiting for everyone to be ready, we can take a quick look into what we'll be seeing after this Mystery Heroes match.
Mm-hmm.
We're following up Mystery Heroes with No Limits 222 on the escort map Gibraltar, followed up by or rather, we are going into assault. Oh my gosh, it's formatting my bad. We are going into assaults, or escort with No Limits 222, assaults, right after. I'm just gonna restart over.
It looks like it's control and then escort, which is going to be our No Limits 222. Then we have the hybrid map with goats, and then we have our assault, which is just a normal 6v6, I believe.
Yeah, and with those maps, we'll be seeing Gibraltar, then Kings Row, and then Hanamura. But of course, we'll see Kings Row for goats. I don't think we could have any other map for that.
No,
except potentially Eichenwald.
Yesterday, I feel like I got a little bit more of an appreciation for goats. I am a hardcore advocate against goats. I'm just not a fan of the composition. I didn't think it was fun to play. I didn't think it was fun to cast. I didn't think it was fun to watch. But I had a lot of fun playing goats yesterday while I was playing Zarya. It was a good time.
See, I feel like the middle ground on that. Personally, I didn't like goats at first, but then my coaches taught me how to play Break, and then I got to enjoy the suffering of every main tank that came across my path.
Yeah. I wonder if it's just that I always no that I either maybe I didn't play goats right or I wasn't playing goats with the right people or something. But I had a blast the other night.
Yeah, I think that's
Hasn't
one
changed my
thing.
mind. Hasn't changed my mind. I still hate goats.
I think the thing about goats is it's the most terrible thing to experience on the receiving end, and if you're not playing it right. If you're playing it right, everyone's having some sort of fun usually. But at the same time, like you can't really enjoy watching it unless you have an idea what's going on half the time. Because the rest of the time you're just seeing visual spam and you're not able to make out the who from the what.
You usually can't make out the who from the what. I mean, just watching like casting goats is very often just, oh, and here goes this and here goes this and here goes this and then there's that thing that's happening and there's a person over there that's almost dead but they're healed now and there goes two ultimates and here goes another ultimate, there goes a plane, here comes three more ultimates, still nothing's happened, there's a transcendence, oh, there's another transcendence. Both teams have graviton, both teams use graviton, both teams are still alive, both teams have used rally. That's goats casting.
Yeah, pretty much. That being said, though, while I think nicely, positively of the original Ghosts, I have to say that it's not as enjoyable now because you have so many nerfs to the tanks. You have so many nerfs to breaks, and a lot of the heroes involved in the Goats now are just really different from like what we saw last year and the 2 years before that.
Yeah, the things that made it as powerful as it was have been kind of dismantled a bit.
Yeah, and at this point, it's more like hitting a steel wall with a hammer rather than hitting a brick wall with a hammer.
Yeah, it's a bit different. It's still very powerful though if you play it right.
It is, but it does not have the strengths it had before, so obviously it's been overtaken and outdated.
So what is your opinion on the current meta?
By the looks of the current meta, we in a way kind of got Goats back. It looks like Dive, but you play it more like Brawl. You have the Winston, the Diva, you have the Sombra and the Reaper, and you go for like more brawly fights because of the Reaper and Sombra. But at the same time, you can go for those dives, but it's usually better to use the Winston and Diva to pocket the Reaper and take up. It is kind of an interesting meta and pretty fun to play, honestly, even at a lower level.
Is there any place for Ana in the meta?
Depends. Like, you can play Ana Mercy if you replace the Sombra Reaper with Ashen Tracer.
Okay. See, I'd want to run that. I like to play Ana. She's really the only hero that gets me my kicks now.
That's unfortunate. Maybe Overwatch 2 will bring that joy back. Who knows?
Uh-oh, looks like we might be putting the coach in. Repeat's just not able to connect to the lobby, ladies and gentlemen, so it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing Repeat in the lobby, at least not yet as they troubleshoot away, but they want to get things going. So let's check this out. It looks like they're saying ready in the lobby.
In the meantime, let's give you a quick sneak peek at who is on both teams. For 100 pounds deadlift, we have Clutchcalibur, Solventic, Audacity, McNewbie, Moraine, and Misfit. And we have Edix and Angel as the coaches for this team. And for Weeb Stars, we have Mr. Critch and Evilix as coaches for Paper, Blackman, Hawk, and Gerbert, and Pineapple.
Yep, and I believe Evilix is not just a coach today. They are going to actually be taking to the field. I'm supposing that we might have some settings wrong. People are... it hasn't registered that all the players were here. What a great thing to do. Thank you, Overwatch. It's a viewer client.
It's a wonderful thing when you think the show's getting on the road, only to be debated.
You know, it happens far too often.
All right, so
what do we got?
We've gone for For the side of Weeb Stars, we seem to have a more solid healer-based comp. A lot of very, very strong heroes, good for stability and sustain. Meanwhile, we see a lot of damage on the side of 500-pound weightlift. We see the, and we'll have to see how the start goes out.
Oh no! An immediate disconnect from Moiraine right as the team fight gets started is very difficult. Not the best thing you want, but McNewbie does even up the scales there by getting that opening kill on the paper, but Hawk already 50% to that Coalescence.
We see both teams trying to duke it out on 5 versus 5, but unfortunately, we're getting some respawns back here. So it might go in favor of Meme Stars.
Oh, almost got eaten, but it's gonna get the job done. Bob comes in to help out a little bit. Misfit and Audacity are doing what needs to be done. You see Misfit there using that tactical visor. You may think it's late, but down a person, you really do need to commit everything you can to the fight.
We also have to note that this is Mystery Heroes. Ult economy does not exist. If it does exist, it is in the most strange form you've ever seen. You have to use those ults when you get them.
Yeah, ult economy here is, did you get an ult?
Yeah, if you get it, here's the flowchart. Do you have ult? Yes, no, no. Get ult. Yes, use ult.
Yeah, that's Mystery Heroes, man.
And we've gone into a pause here to wait for Moiraine to reconnect, or otherwise find a replacement for her. In the meantime,
no, she just popped back in. She is going to be joining us again. Moiraine has returned. Sorry.
We did see her return, and it seems that the Mystery Heroes is somehow keeping the team comps in a very sustainable play style for the Weep Stars, while the 500-pound deadlift seems to have more damage-heavy comp.
Yeah, Weep Stars has 1, 2, 3 supports and 3 DPS. Oh, what is happening? Another pause.
We seem to see another pause. Moiraine is currently in a state where she cannot play, unfortunately. So while we wait for a replacement, we'll have to see if we might have to make up for this very scuffed first map.
Yeah, we also might just be going to a 5v5. We'll see what happens. Edix is now saying that he wants to come in.
I believe this has gone from All-Stars to Coaches Clash.
Yeah, All-Stars and Coaches. Edix vowing that their DPS is tragic anyways. So they can come in without having to worry about what SR they might be sitting at.
To be fair, there's only a matter of time before he will become a support with the power of Mystery Heroes. So with this swap, we'll be seeing Edix, I believe, GM player, a GM tank player coming in.
All right.
So, Mystery Heroes, do your thing and avoid those tanks to keep the equipment in
the support. The game knows what it's doing. The game knows what it's doing.
Exactly. We see a lot of team fights just scattered around here, don't we?
Yeah, there's not really much focused fighting at the moment. You've got a Bastion up on the high ground that they're trying to kind of meddle with, but not really doing much to. You got a Fire on the point that they can't really touch. But all in all, a fairly good first take for Weebstars. 500-pound deadlift, only just now getting control of the point.
Yeah, we do see Misfit take down Pineapple, resetting that ult economy once again. Hawk seems to be the only one really close to ult, aside from Misfit, who instantly pops that Bastion ult.
Yep, like we said, smoke them if you got them. Speaking of getting them, Hawk 95%, like you said, to that Coalescence.
almost has it fully up, and that's going to be a game changer once they're able to pop it. There goes the Coalescence into the fray, and a beautiful nade from McNewbie is going to save a couple, but not Audacity or Misfits. They're able to take care of that Bastion off the back of that Coalescence.
And with that, we do see a lot of picks come from the Weeb Stars. Recapping point once again.
That's a pretty quick take. 59%, not the best, but not horrible for percentage. But they need to be careful. ElegantEx has that EMP ready, and like we said, if you've got them, use them, and they're gonna go ahead and do that. Finds 3 with the EMP. McNewbie goes down. Audacity has no shield or ability to defend themselves in this packed state, so they too will get hurt. But oh, a big save comes through from ClutchCalibur.
I see that ClutchCalibur is living up to his name with that very wonderful player.
Very much so. They need to be careful. Blackman has that Blizzard. In this defensive state, has exactly what they need to make a lot of space for their team. Not many ults other than that on board, but a bit of a brawl going down the stairs, but it's still going to fall in favor of Weeb Stars.
Yeah, we see a lot of pressure coming out from Weeb Stars team comp. Just enough to keep point in time. We do not see anyone possibly ready to touch.
Audacity's trying to get through, didn't get there in time. Looks like the Widowmaker as well on the side, almost getting themselves in a position, but McNewbie just couldn't get there in time. And Weeb Stars have given us a bit of a showing right there at the beginning. You think 500-pound deadlift is outclassed, or is it just the Mystery Heroes aspect?
I think it's a mix of the Mystery Heroes aspect and the fact that Maureen unfortunately had to back off of playing until her internet can stabilize.
But now we've got a coach on either side in the game, so I think it's fair. Do we know what the SR of our coaches is? Let me check our handy dandy documentation here. It does not.
I do not know ElegantEx's own SR. I do believe Edix is, as I said, a Masters tank player. Or Grandmasters, I believe.
Well, they're going to go ahead and get right back into the action. Private profile. Sad day. Most of the kills have already come through here. Rainbow, our producer, giving us the cold hard facts. GM Masters is where the two coaches live. And I said that they might be being outclassed, or it might be Mystery Heroes, but 500 pound. I keep wanting to say 50-pound deadlift. 500-pound deadlift. Able to go for this first take. Almost gets it. Gonna see a soft disengage there from Weeb Stars, but they're not done with the fight just yet. Hawk at 57% to that Bob, the one to look out for right now. He needs to take down Edix. I'm sorry. 72% to that Blizzard, has that May, but Gerber, wow.
See, even with Mr. Heroes, you still do have a little bit of strategy into how you take the space and punish the enemy team. And here we see with the Orisa comp that Weeb Stars has, they are able to pepper out the enemy team quite easily.
Yeah, and Hawk is taking well advantage of Blackman here, allowing that halt to access big TNTs. Now 91% to Bob, and I feel like in Mystery Heroes, Bob just might be one of the most influential ultimates you can get.
Yeah, especially with like the stability their team has right now, thanks to their Orisa, even double Orisa actually.
Oh.
This might be a very difficult push unless they can get their ultimates online.
A very difficult push indeed. Edix even having to try and get through 2 barriers to do anything on that Sombra. And there goes Bob into the corner there. Audacity gets flung over and gets taken out. That's going to be a pretty easily won fight. Hawk even continuing to build up to another. Bob finds himself at 30% at the end of the fight. Hawk right now, definitely the person to look out for.
Yeah, and now with this, we have a triple hit scan against a double fire comp. Well, let's see how that works out.
A lot of pressure on McNewbie and Edicts to keep themselves alive, for one. And it helps take things out. Gerbert, though, finds 2 kills with that flail.
Sometimes it's the whip shot you have to look out for.
Oh. That's either the whip shot or the Peacekeeper. It's going to be one or the other, it seems. Sovereign over here trying to pull Blackman off over the edge, but he pulls him just a bit too far. So Blackman's able to easily take care of Soul. Feels bad, man. Feels bad.
And here we see Weave Stars get their first win of the night on this Mystery Heroes map.
You know, you can say it doesn't matter because it's Mystery Heroes, but everything matters here, guys.
It's all in for all stars.
Yeah. You know, you want those bragging rights. Oh, the audacity, the humanity. What is this?
It is the power of assaulting with a Junkrat.
That was pretty great right there.
All right, so we're gonna have to throw into a move into a break right now as we fix some behind the scenes issues. welcome back to Owlet Majors All-Stars. We just finished Lijiang Tower Mystery Heroes and are moving on to Gibraltar No Limits 222.
So No Limits 222. I kind of wish, I don't know if this is an actual game mode. I think the only No Limits that we have in the arcade is traditional No Limits, if I'm not mistaken. I'd like for 222 No Limits to be a thing. I think it's actually kind of fun.
I feel like Blizzard has experimented with it as a potential card before, but I'm not quite sure, honestly.
I am loving the offensive composition as of now. That's beautiful. And then what do we got on defense? Oh wow, 2 Reinhardts, 2 Widows, 2 Zens.
See, on the side of 500-pound deadlift, they have the point control and the pressure, but they have the sustain. The Zenyatta's might provide the value of they can't hurt you if they're dead, but that puts the double Rhine at a lot of risk.
Not to mention that they can.
And then there's the fact that they have a Reddit Lucio.
What a rollout from Pineapple to get that opening kill. He's back. He's looking for more action. He's surviving on the outskirts of the map.
The desperation to get out is strong in the Lucio main.
Payload is not moving, however. Just barely moving.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do see that 500-pound deadlift has to back out while allowing plenty of space for the more divey comp of Weeb Stars here.
Yeah, Weeb Stars comp beginning to evolve, if you will. They've now got themselves a Reinhardt as well as a Brig. Seems to be working out pretty well for them, though. I mean, Paper switching over to this Reinhardt has kind of been, well, for lack of a better word, pretty nutty.
The shield is nice because it does allow them a little breathing room when it comes to shatter, but then they still have the dive and sustain with the heroes they've played.
No one was paying attention to the payload. Everybody was fighting here in the next room.
Unfortunately, that's just the power of pressuring the enemy spawns, I guess. We get to see Gerber just have a nice little ride on the payload.
Flatman, I believe, was able to pressure people all the way back to spawn and even lay a minefield back here, it looked like. Yeah. Was able to lay a minefield there in the back of spawn. Ooh, the Doomfist coming out from ElegantExcalibur.
We do see with the Double Doom, a huge fight between them and the soldiers.
Yeah, and a lot of pick potential for them, but it doesn't look like that potential is going to be seen. Oh, Soul Vengeance thought he had it, but Paper said no thank you. Audacity tries to get revenge, but it's not going to work. Paper is the superior Reinhardt.
And then now we see Blackman move off of the Wrecking Vault onto Reinhardt, probably to go on, continue with the theme of Double Reinhardt, as both teams seem to like.
The double Reinhardt is super, super strong. Really strong is the double Transcendence, but there's also a double Tac Visor. It doesn't matter where you hide, it doesn't matter where you are. They're going to be able to find you unless they kill you, which they've done. Hawk's still alive, but most of the members of Weeb Star is getting sent back to spawn. And finally here at the brink of point 2, we're finding 500-pound Deadlift getting themselves a defense.
But will they be able to hold it for 3.5 minutes?
Hello there.
It's a lot of time. And the payload does not have a lot of space to go.
Yeah, we'll have to see what rally coming out.
Preemptive rally there, it looked like. May have been a fat finger. They were quite far away. Oh, there were 2 shields there. Why'd you shatter that? Solvent not finding what he needs, but the kills are coming through right now for the Weeds. In this all-star matchup, a frozen Doomfist won't do you much good, but an unfrozen Doomfist can kill you. ElegantExcalibur continuing to live up to their name.
The rally was a nice touch with as the armor builds up as you push, rather than using it mid-fight. But unfortunately, I don't think Doomfist cares too much about that armor.
Oh, well, it doesn't seem like Hawk cares too much about that Doomfist.
And we see a clashing Rhine charge right here as they now duke it out, taking out Audacity.
Yeah, Audacity's gonna fall, and Pineapple is trying to work his way up there into that top ship, if you will. Looks like the attack fighters are off to the right from Hawk. It looks like he's chasing somebody away. But the payload will move on. We've got 3 minutes and 46 seconds left, and very, very, very angry Reinhardts.
I believe Repeat has the right idea here. He seems to be going heroes that really make a Rhine stay a rough one.
Yeah, if you can break down that shield, Ryan is kind of an iffy character to go with. Ooh, sneaky,
Or even
double
just
Ryan.
cut him off like he had with the Mei.
Will the sneaky double Ryan pay off? They're inside the room, but Doomfist now in a small confined space. The Helix rocket, that's a recipe for disaster.
Unfortunately for Repeat, Transcendence heals more than he can damage the enemy team.
The joy of having 2 Zenyattes on your team, I suppose.
Yeah, as long as you stagger out those Transcendences, you've got a lot of sustain.
A lot of sustain indeed, but 1 charge puts you into the enemy lines. But McNewbie, supporting from afar, is able to keep Paper alive there at the very end. Sylventic as well, getting very, very low. Now in a bit of enemy territory, has to charge himself out. Hits the payload, though. Another Ryan charging towards him, but it's his buddy. Doomfist using that Meteor Strike, being caught out by Pineapple. And at this point, not much to be done. But look at McNewbie just standing on the high ground with the tac visor, just waiting.
We do see Transcendence come out to stall the car too, but it unfortunately put Moraine's in a really difficult spot for her.
Well, everyone's going to be in a difficult spot in a second if nobody finds out that McNewbie is on this high ground. Tac visor at the ready. He finds the Bastion, looks for the Brig, isn't able to find the Brig, but does have the tac visor. He's getting targeted out by the shields. They would find really big value there at the very beginning by taking out the Bastion, but now getting tac visored himself, he's going to get completely taken out by Hawk.
And we see Blackman go in for the tactical crouch, asserting his dominance as he pushes spawn.
And 1:41 seconds left. That's not the largest time bank I've ever seen, but it is definitely a respectable one.
Well, with that push, we see a disconnect once again from Moraine, unfortunately. No. We do, in place of Moraine, we get Jonathan. Luckily for the hack, that gives them maybe a chance to have Reddit Lucio's, as we do see Jonathan and Misfit in.
Jonathan and Misfit. So is Jonathan also a Lucio player, I presume?
Yeah, definitely a Reddit Lucio.
Alright, well, I hope they approve.
Looks like that.
Unfortunately, we seem to have instead a Bastion pirate ship.
You know, I'm not angry at this, but it's been predicted. This defensive composition knows it's coming.
Yeah, it seems that we're gonna have to see the battle of the Bastions right here. We even see both sides preparing for the worst of it. And by worst, we mean Bastion.
And they're not just rolling with the Bastions, but they're being super cheeky with it. They're just gonna hide down here. See how long it takes.
But they don't know will hurt them.
Yeah.
They're actually forsaking the car to scout out where they could possibly have set up.
They still have not found them. It's like an elaborate game of hide and seek. We've got all of them going back to the spawn now. Mind you, the payload is not moving right now. Oh, I think Misfit found him. Misfit found him!
And now we see the push come in from 500-pound deadlift.
Oh, but a very quick opening kills from Hawk. Oh, they're gonna win this fight for sure.
Unfortunately, that even with the heads up, that sustain from double Baptiste lamps is not allowing any room to push.
Now, one Bastion shoots the lamps, the other continues the onslaught.
We'll have to see how they make this regroup work for them.
Alright, so now they know where the enemy is. The charges, however, are still not landing. The kills coming through from the defending Bastions. This will get a little bit more difficult to do once the payload gets into this area, as the space they have that's open to shoot at will deplenish. But a couple of ulting Bastions will change that story quick. Repeat. Gonna go ahead and decimate the enemy team. It's just McNuvie now on the Reinhardt there to feed a little bit more.
Unfortunately,
Regroup, or reposition, if you will.
Unfortunately, Repeat will have to lose his Bastion versus Baptiste battle there. A gigantic shatter coming out from ElegantExcalibur, but it's quickly saved by the Baptiste ult and Bastion else. Everything else is coming out.
Multiple windows, or both windows, I should say, for Weepstars were committed into that fight, but they still were not able to hold that defense.
Yeah, and I think that puts the ult economy in favor of a 500-pound deadlift. They're getting really close to their Bastion ults. They have Shatter. And while we do see Shatter, both tank ults coming up on Weepstars, they do not have much else.
Shatters can be big, but they're so hard to pull off when there's so many shields. And what is happening on this defense? Oh no! They see ElegantExcalibur? Oh! ElegantExcalibur finds one, drops him down to the low ground. The lamp's not there to help him. Paper gonna get taken out very early, and that causes Repeat to use the ultimate, and he is going to reap what he sows.
Unfortunately for ElegantExcalibur, that amazing play wasn't enough for Weepstars to go down here.
I'll give him some kudo coins.
Yeah, we have to put that in the All-Stars Hall of Fame as a clip.
Looks like that apple a day
Yeah,
thing.
that's crazy Reinhardt.
Looks like that apple a day thing didn't work out for you.
Yeah, these bastards have such an epic
Looks like that
sightline.
apple a day thing didn't work out.
There really isn't much they cannot see.
We're honestly witnessing a take on what plays we've seen in Overwatch League. And it's really difficult to push up to that high ground without being poked out. You have to get yourself in there somehow with some sort of speed.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's hard just to get in these doors.
Yeah, like, the only way we might be able to see them get through is to get out, in and out as quickly as possible. But they seem to just be struggling at this point.
They don't really want, I don't think they want to change up their supports because they have those windows, but if you don't change up your supports or your composition in some way, you're not going to get through.
Yeah, because at this point, they have such a strong tactical advantage for Weeblords, they have to make up for it somehow.
So they're going to try and use, oh, it's going to work! What a play!
And
They
we
use
see
the hidden Bastion with the hidden immortality field plus the window. Throw in 2 fire strikes as well as a Bastion sitting there, and that's a lot of damage.
And we see there, ladies and gentlemen, that window does stock damage the damage boost.
That was, I did not expect that at all. And what is little Solventic doing here? Oh, he's being a little hammer Torbjorn. He's being a sneaky, sneaky hammer Torbjorn. He's going after the Bastion, hammering Hawk to his death. Dynamic that was put together by a hammer, now trying to be dismantled by one, but he will get the kill.
It seems to be not enough to help them contest, despite having the numbers. Weeblords seem to end up being forced back and lose even more space.
Yeah, the Torbjorn with the hammer was just distracting enough.
Yeah, I guess sometimes the short man with the hammer charging at you with no fear is what it takes to make the enemy fear you.
I mean, that would scare me.
Truly.
I mean, if I was just walking down the street and an angry Torbjorn came at me, no thank you.
I believe we see Weed Lords repeating their old strats once again. I guess
They are, but it's not gonna work as they planned. They have a Reinhardt in their backline, but no, the Reinhardt in the backline that's gonna shine is Paper. He finds a big shatter. He gets the majority of 500-pound deadlift there on the attack. Weave Stars will hold.
Unfortunately, we do see a disconnect from Jonathan as he has hit the AFK timer.
I did see him say that he would be right back.
Yeah, unfortunately, the AFK timer is a cruel, cruel opponent.
Yeah. The coach saying, go ahead and play. Our player will be back. We're okay to play down one. Very confident. Very, very confident.
In the meantime, we see a lot of ults in play here.
A lot of ults indeed. We do have multiple takes. Might have to take out the window, but Misfit is going to give that window opportunity to hit. Hawk finding a couple of kills, 3 kills now. That Bastion still being such a thorn and pound deadlift. Sorry about that. I'm back. The mic volume's where it's supposed to be. 500-pound deadlift, getting their payload mighty close. They do have a lesser time bank. They really need to go ahead and punch this through. They cannot afford to lose this next fight.
If they can even get an ounce of time, they have a chance to break out more than a draw. But even then, we might see the ults on the side of Weave Stars potentially help them keep the point here as long as they use them wisely.
Very unfortunate that Jonathan joined back now. 30 seconds remaining, and Jonathan's really gonna have to put it together, but a big shatter. Oh, the lamp is there to help them keep people alive, and they will be able to find the opening kill, but it's just not going to be enough. These Bastions, oh, is that Hawk on the high ground with an amplification matrix? Oh.
And it's also multiple Bastions forcing pressure from multiple angles, which is such a pain to push into when you're trying to go for that overtime contest.
As my dog would say, that is rough. I did it. I said it. I'm proud of it.
All right, so anyone who knows how to do play-by-play, we at Owlet welcome everyone as long as you're not Schtitle.
Hey man, I gotta get my cheesy stuff in there. Oh, it was the Torbjorn. That was the secret part of that attack. It was the Torbjorn, not the Bastion, not the window.
The Bastion was, or this Torbjorn was the secret sauce all along.
Nice and easy. Just how I like.
Job well done indeed. We are going to take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen, before we come back with our next map, which is going to be everybody's freaking favorite. We're going to be doing goats on King's Row. So don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss that action.
So we're back with everyone's favorite goat.
We are back with goats. Yes, everyone's favorite, as people like to say. Not everyone's though. I still hate goats. Regardless of the fact that I may or may not have had some fun playing goats last night, I don't like goats. I don't. But it's fun to play, and you know, this is for the players. So we're gonna let these guys have themselves a bit of a blast here on the goats. And I do believe we're running traditional goats as well.
So what you're saying is it's a blast of the past.
A true blast of the past, yes.
And
what's your
with that-
favorite part of goats?
Ready for battle.
when break was broken. When I got to smash in Ryan's faces with my mace and stun. Former projectile player, now flex player, DPS by the way.
Very nice. We just got word from our producer. It is not just OG goats. It's basically OG goats, but you can, of course, swap out your healers as you choose. So you can either run the Moira, the Ana, the Zen. So now we get the rotating goats. But it does look like we're just going to have mirrored OG goats.
To be fair, I don't think it's quite OG goats because it's lacking the Moira or Ana, but we do have the Zen damage, which is always nice.
And those transcendences to make the fights just a little bit longer. Ooh, very early pick onto paper, and goats. Losing your Reinhardt is one of the things you really don't want to do. It allows that Zarya to just get free damage. Now Audacity at 67% to the Graviton.
Yeah, with their defense here, they're building up ults pretty fast, even for goats.
Oh, the rally thought they were going to take it, but the Shatter was there to make them fall. The kills, however, wildly falling through for Weave Stars. And man, Audacity was not able to finish building up that graph.
We do see that stagger onto McNewbie, unfortunately. Oh, both Lucios going down, getting staggered. Their team, this might be a painful stagger for both teams, as the speed, it really is vital to helping goats stay immobile.
Yeah, I think Weave's gonna be all right because he will get that close spawn. So we should see that Lucio joining the fight any moment here. Gravitons from both teams coming out. There's a sound barrier and Transcendence being committed. Looks like the Shatter isn't really gonna find a lot. So Audacity wasn't able to find a big play with that Graviton that they were looking for. And Mr. Crit getting taken down before the rally can come out. It's up to paper now and their Shatter to change the name of the game. The Shatter comes out, but a big Transcendence from Misfit saves the day, and now Sylventic's counter bomb goes into the alley? That's not where that was supposed to go!
And honestly, that's very unfortunate. But we still see the fight going on in their spawn.
Let's see, ElegantExcalibur has the Shatter and Mr. Crit has a rally coming into this next fight. And Audacity will have another grab, most likely.
You see the push here. So we're looking for the fix, looking for those potential ultimates.
ElegantExcalibur, being a sneaky Reinhardt, does find the Shatter. It doesn't get what they need, though, so they're going to commit the Graviton as well. And now they have all of the kills they want and more. A high charge Zarya in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and with that, we do see a little more ults on Meme Star's side because of the spawn pushes they've been taking. They haven't been able to use as many ults.
Oh, but they are keen to. An early ult there from Blatman with a Transcendence to make sure that they can get in their damage for free. But Pineapple's going to commit the bomb there, will take out their shield. And like we've said before, losing your shield in goats is absolutely terrifying. Pretty much a forced retreat, if you will.
Yeah, there's so much risk of melting the Reinhardt, who's your primary source of damage next to that Zenyatta in this comp.
And now with no Reinhardt to guide them. Nope, ElegantExcalibur is back just in time. They will get one more fight here at this second point. But this is very much so last fight territory for this point, and Gravitons are going to be spent out from both sides. It looks like Big Shatter as well comes through from Paper. Flatman responds in kind with the Diva Bomb to pair, and that's going to be the big play of the day.
We do see a stagger onto Flatman as well, which is going to really force some more time out of meme stars, or weeb stars.
Paper fell for the classic, they say.
Honestly, I feel their pain. I've had a lot of scrims where we forget to ask, where's Ryan? And then we pay for it.
Well, coming back in, a lot of support ultimates are going to be online, so they're going to use that Transcendence to initiate here. Stacking the rally on right after to keep himself sufficiently healed. The Shatter from a bit of a distance is going to put Clutch Calibur into a very difficult situation, but the Zarya bubble is there to keep him alive. Ult still coming online. Gervert will have the sound barrier to keep Weave Stars in this. The bomb. Oh! It finds Audacity just barely because it gets pushed forward by the payload? What?
Sometimes the payload's the 7th player all along. It can heal, it can move, it can block damage. It's very underrated.
More reason to move the payload. There you have it, folks. It can get you kills.
You just have to wait for the right moment.
Which means push the payload at all times.
Exactly.
Well,
Except
payload
for
now.
retreats.
Yeah, payload now coming to a bit of a stop. Ooh, Blatman using that Diva Bomb to charge up that Zarya. But it's going to be to little avail. Clutch Calibur continuing to be the bane of existence here for Weeb Stars as 500-pound deadlift pushes back this defense.
You know, their 500-pound deadlift right here is really living up to the name with how much Clutch Calibur is carrying some of these fights.
Carrying indeed, but Audacity there to give you a bit of support. They use the hammer down to lay everybody on the ground, but another time that Clutch Calibur comes in big, he gets behind the team and lays down the hammer. So Ventic eats the grab from Blatman. What a play indeed. Weeb Stars has now nothing to push into this attack.
But with that, they also have to worry about what ults they're gonna gain from being fed all of that damage.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of damage indeed. In fact, they're gonna make Clutch Calibur retreat a bit as Audacity and Jonathan both get taken out. The Diva Bomb goes into the backline. Misfit slightly out of position will get there, and McNewby's sound barrier still in the bank for when they get back to the next fight, which is going to be important because they're going to have to match Repeat's Transcendence and Flatman's grab.
And with that, they are going to have to commit ults to try to touch here.
Oh, the Graviton's there, and they do get the touch. Self-destruct as well. Self-destruct not going to find anything. It is going to get a bit of a dispersal pattern, however, amongst the attackers. Defenders now finding another kill or two with McNewby and Misfit. McNewby getting another boop there onto Mr. Crit. That's the second boop there. It looks like this defense will hold strong. 45 seconds left.
The tactical approach, the assert dominance.
Indeed.
While we wait for these teams to meet up, we do see about Transcendence ready in case of Audacity's grab here.
Yeah, Audacity certainly looking for that grab now. Making sure that defense matrix has been eaten up. Will get the grab out. The Transcendence is there to make sure that they are all okay. But the hammer that comes afterwards, writing a different story. They take the Reinhardt out of commission. The counter bomb comes through. Nobody, however, is on the payload. They're all in the face of the attackers.
That last desperate dash from Blackman almost makes it there.
Almost, but you know what? Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, as they say. Edicts, of course, joking, saying that he would like to trade for Paper. Well, Edicts, I don't think we mid-match trades are permitted here in the All-Stars match.
Nor for the finals, unfortunately. I'm sure that the rosters are pretty set right at this point.
Yeah, and Weeb All-Stars, they did not put up the time bank that the scoreboard would predict they were going to put up. Scoreboard being 2-0, 500-pound deadlift, was able to match them, I'd say, on an even keel most of the match.
Yeah, there was a lot of equal fights here. But at the end, we also just saw the power of 500-pound deadlift when they're forced into a corner to defend.
I wonder if they're going to be able to bring it out just the same on attack. It looks like they're going to be going on a different variation of goats. Both sides are going to be pulling out different variations of goats here. We have the Ana goats for Weeb Stars, and then true OG goats for deadlift.
Actually, we do see the Ana in play, like you said, which could give an advantage for the Weeb Stars, as Ryan's ultimate nemesis is that Nana name.
Well, it sure is not Jonathan. Mr. Crit taking that foe out very quickly, but Audacity following up and avenging his fellow support there. Like we said, Paper, a very, very important figure on the Weeb Stars defensive composition, using that nade to keep their team alive and ready. That paired with the Lucio can be such an important thing, and already up to 70% of that nano boost. Paper absolutely nailing it here on a play. The point, however, being forced over by deadlift. They have the bodies, they have the corner of the point, and now at 50% to the tick, the re-engage needs to be quick, it needs to be swift. They need to go now. There goes the nano boost onto the Reinhardt, but he's gonna get booped out of the fight and taken out completely. It's not what they wanted. It's not what they needed. The Transcendence, however, is exactly what Deadlift needs to win the fight. And with that, they will be able to mitigate and destroy the rest of Weeb Stars.
You can say they deadlifted that fight with
Yes, they did.
four ults rather, to continue their push. We're gonna have to see if Weeb Stars are going to be able to counter with their own ults, as they have 5 ults online right now, as we see this fight come up.
Yeah, and what a play there. Paper, however, already 56% back to that Ana, and we're gonna need that Ana to have a bit more of an impact. There goes the self-destruct. It won't find anything because of that sound barrier from Blatman. Oh, but a big purple comes through. Self-destruct into the backline as well as a hammer down, but it looks like Excalibur and McNewby are not going to be making it out alive here. The Ana with a big anti-nade at the beginning of that fight.
With that, we do see, like, still the 3 of the ults, and plus Calibur's ult even coming up as well for the 500-pound deadlift.
See if those are going to get them anywhere. They are going to commit the rally to start things off, but there's, of course, one on the other side. Graviton comes out from repeat. And this is really where McNewby has the time to shine. Saved up that Graviton till afterwards, now using it as a counter play, and they have the Transcendence to boot. This is exactly what they need to get through the choke, but it doesn't look like Weeb Stars is going to let them through or give them any sort of ground. Mr. Crit now has another big shatter, but it's not going to land because he's been sent to the grave.
All these ults just being built up so quickly. We really still see this fight going on. But the Diva Bomb.
Oh! And so Vente gets a big 2K there. That Diva Bomb was wonderful.
It was just one fight with the power of one ult. Sometimes you don't need to get the whole team, just 2 vital members.
That's all you need sometimes, indeed. You see Paper and Blatman both very up to their ultimates here. They have the self-destruct from Pineapple. Pineapple has not been able to find the same amount of success as the Diva Bombs on this defense as they were able to on the attack. But an early D-Mech there onto Solventic is going to get their Diva out of commission completely. A couple of sound barriers, going to keep everybody in the fray for a little while, as well as a rally and a Transcendence. That's really going to be what 500-pound deadlift needed to get this payload just a little bit further. They have 4 members of Weed Stars to mitigate and deal with, and Gerber is not going down without a fight and a flail, finding 3.
Sometimes, even after all those nerfs, break is scary.
Scary, but dead. Gerber is going to be going back to the spawn room as a couple of members continue to keep this stall alive as best they can. Paper now trying to run, but most likely going to fall victim to the stagger. Nope, gets around the corner. What a quick little grandma.
With Paper on Ana, there have been some very vital nades here. But it seems to not be enough, as they're still getting heavily outdamaged and outclassed by the the 500-pound deadlift.
Oh! And it's as if Pineapple heard me through the cast. Pineapple, are you watching the stream? Give me a shout out in chat if you are. But what a play! I talk trash about Pineapple's diva, and then he gets a 3K on a counter bomb.
Sometimes you just need the motivation to impress others.
That's true. Sometimes you just need a little oomph in the keister there to get yourself going.
We see a lot of poking here, trying to build those ults needed to get this next team fight started.
Ooh, but Blackman trying to be adventurous there on the wall. Will get taken out. There is the Graviton, but it's not going to give too much. Look at the Weave Star. It does look like Deadlift have the upper hand in this fight as long as they can deal with Mr. Crit there, which they will be able to do. The payload will continue to go. 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Looks like Deadlift wants to take this Goats map.
With the Lucio stall, we see just enough time bought in order for the rest of Blackman's team to get back to point.
And this is the second time that Blackman has been the first casualty of the fight. You know, you don't want to be losing your Lucio so early on like that. ElegantExcalibur and the rest of the team able to kind of snowball the fight from there. Oh, but a high charge. Nano boosted Zarya trying to get away from Diva Bomb. Isn't able to do it. Repeat goes down.
Fight seems to be in favor of the 500-pound deadlift team.
Seems to be indeed, although there's a lot of healing coming through, they're eventually going to have to commit their bodies and souls to the payload.
And when finally comes in for the 500-pound deadlift, it seems that the tank player is on their side, seem fully prepared for this ghost match.
Pineapple saying they just wanted to eat a grab. Well, Pineapple, you can go home happy. You did. Look at this. Look at that. Boop right there, and then, hold on, I believe there's one more right. There it is. Oh, no! She bounced and then walked off herself!
Does it count if you boop yourself?
Yeah, you know, it does. I think it does.
Yeah, I'll take it, too.
Alrighty, folks. That was our Kings Row Goats map. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it just as much as we did. We're not done just yet. We do have one more map of our Majors All-Stars matchup. So please sit tight. We are going to be right back with, I believe we're going to go to Hanamura next for our normal 6v6. And production, please clarify for me. Normal 6v6, is that going to be a 2v2? Yeah, we believe that's going to be a 2-2-2. So that's the competitive that you are used to playing on ladder and seeing in the Overwatch League and here at the Owlet on a normal basis. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our regular match on Hanamura.
Welcome back to Owlet's Majors All-Stars. We're on the final map for tonight as we go to Hanamura for a regular 6v6. We've already run through Goats, Mystery Heroes, and No Limits 222.
All fun. I think the Mystery Heroes is the one that we need to tweak a little bit.
Quite possibly.
But all fun. But this is the one where they have to show their true skill as it is on the ladder.
Yeah, here we'll potentially either see lots of memes or a lot of tryharding, or even a mix of both. We'll have to see.
I want a teleporting bastion, teleporting something.
Anything.
I want teleport.
Right now, we can't say much about the team cons as their one side is in spawn. They could do anything to try to debate us, but we do see for the 500-pound deadlift that they are opting for that Bastion Widow, trying to put out as much damage as possible, but with very little cover, some space potentially taken by that ball.
The Sigma is an interesting choice.
He does help put out that extra damage while having like fragile shield to help keep the Bastion safe and as well as himself.
Well, a dive comes coming straight to their face, so that Bastion better be ready to get into action. Does not look like that's the case. Oh no, it is the case. I'm sorry, Audacity is able to find that opening kill there onto paper. And that's gonna get the ball rolling here. Solventic, however, not gonna be rolling anymore. It looks like he pilot drove off the map there. Oh, not what you want to do as a defender. The attackers, however, not going to be taking
keeping the ball rolling, we did see Solventic do the classic spin to win stall there, helping buy time for his teammates to spam down the enemy team.
Yep, just a little bit. They're calling for it was a reset, but I firmly am going to believe for forever that Solventic pile drived off the map unintentionally.
I'll give the man a nice little breather and say he wanted that reset for some showing off.
Yeah. Looks like there's a bit of a crazy fight going on nowhere near the point over here in the streets of the spawn.
Well, we see Hawk go for an attempt at a back path.
Almost able to get that first tick. Now using that spin to win technique we've seen so much here on the Hanamura first point.
Man, there are just balls everywhere. Look at them go.
You know, as a Winston, you just gotta stand there and hold your fire button. Every time he comes by, you get a little bit more damage.
And if there's a shield, no problem. Cleave damage.
Yep. Sound barrier, however, from Jonathan, going to keep everything alive here. They have been able to get the first kick, but that's all they've been able to pull off.
We see half the
point for him. Oh no! Oh! Audacity gets knocked into the minefield by Repeat.
Yeah, we saw half of that point just closed off to both sides just because of those minefields, and we then just saw them take advantage of that in so many ways.
Yeah, they've really not allowed Deadlift to get any sort of stabilization here on the defense, but looks like they don't need stabilization. They just need kills. They're gonna be able to find 3 kills off the bat there, and that's gonna force yet another trip back to spawn for the Weave Stars.
I think the primary goal for Deadlift here is to just put out as much damage as they possibly can, and they're doing an excellent job at it.
So what do you change up on the attack here?
Personally, I'd say that the Genji could become a Sombra and just completely destroy the hopes and dreams of Deadlift.
Well, looks like Hawk is trying to do that. Is able to find that early kill on a clutch caliber, and with the help of the sound barrier and a lot of health, they're gonna send in that Genji into the back line. He's got a nano as well. He is able to find that Bastion, but nothing else. Big anti-nade coming in onto the Lucio, but he will be able to skate his way out of safety. He's still getting pestered there
by Paper. Looks like they will finally get the kill there onto Jonathan, but that's going to be the take for Weavstars. Deadlift is going to have to hold strong and hold fast at point 2.
With that, we see Weeblords really recovering there and having some ult in their favor, but they're gonna have to put up with a Bastion ult coming up here.
And that tank configuration just dishes out so much burst damage.
We see the ults. We see a lot of ults getting used here, trying to take some space, clear out some of the defenders.
And Repeat looking for another big boop into the minefield, but not able to find anybody to throw into those glowing red orbs. Oh, I spoke too early. He's able to get Misfit to walk into those mines. And you know, they may not be winning off of these minefields, but they're definitely providing a lot of, what's the word here? Enjoyment?
Sure.
For the viewer.
We see a Zenyatta Transcendence come out, probably to assert dominance. No, don't worry, I got you, Misfit.
Yeah, definitely not an accident.
Totally. A little Easter egg we might have caught earlier. Audacity punching the corpse of Winston on the side of Weeblords.
Speaking of Winston's, ElegantExcalibur going hard into the back line on this Primal Raging Winston. It will be a surprise if he can make it out alive. He will be able to at least bait or kite in a couple of kills, but it's not gonna be what they wanted. They've already lost 2. Now they need their respawns more than ever here. Looks like they'll be able to stabilize, actually.
They still have to respect the sightlines of that Widow, though, especially now that she's top sights.
Yeah, Scyther can be a terrifying thing to go up against. Paper does get taken out by Jonathan, but at the same time is able to get Jonathan with those, with the little bombs that he leaves behind. I forget what they're called. Looks like they're finally able to break into the point. But Misfit, early kill onto Owlet. There goes the Diva Bomb. It will find Gerber as well. Man!
And on top of that,
like Weavstars can get a break.
On top of that, we even see potentially a pistol kill from Solvente.
I need healing.
I did not see that. I did not catch that.
Widow diff, right there. Big newbie taking out Blattman too.
Blattman right now saying 1-1. He wants a 1v1, it looks like. Not gonna be getting it. There goes the minefield into the back, so the supports can't just sit there.
We see a disconnect come out on ElegantExcalibur. Deadlift, unfortunately, having a lot of connection issues tonight. But it's still potentially enough for Weavstars to touch.
The Nano Booster Roadhog, I would say wasting no time getting on point, but fell down, so not able to use that Nano Boost the way that they wanted to. The tank configuration going to completely dismantle that whole hog. The kills coming through for 500-pound Deadlift, and with 5 people, they are able to hold.
It seems that even without their main tank, 500-pound Deadlift have got the muscles to lift those 500 pounds.
Yeah, ElegantExcalibur just leaving his essence behind was enough.
It's the team spirit that they've got.
So, happy he's back. So he is able to come on in to the attack here. And on the attack, you saw the defense, sorry, on the defense here, you saw the divey attack they came out with. You expect a similar defense, or do they switch it up?
Personally, I see Deadlift pulling off some more memes, as we can see right now. Well, on the side of Weeblords, we do see some vague semblance of some sort of team comp. Definitely damage heavy currently, with a lot of point pressure potentially from the ball Sigma.
Gonna be a lot of pressure on Repeat to get a very quick ultimate on this Echo.
Yeah, that Echo. The Echo's going to be an interesting pick here, as she wants to poke out damage and then finish off targets, much like an upgraded Genji meets a Pharah.
Very much so, and they're going up against a Widowmaker, so they will not be safe in the skies.
We see the Widow duel come out here as well. We'll have to see if Evelix or McNewbie is the dominant Widow here.
Favor finding themselves a couple of early kills there for the defensive Zenyatta. That's big, but still Venti going to take care of that Omnic pretty quickly. Gerber fighting back in kind. And as McNewbie takes the high ground here on the Widowmaker in what can be one of the most dangerous spots to leave an attacking Widowmaker. The action is going to be brought down, sought down on point, if you will. Doesn't look like Misfit nor Jonathan going to be able to keep themselves alive on the attack. So regardless of the fact that the Widowmaker is kind of just out there and getting free territory, McNewbie was not able to find any value.
Sometimes it's just those close points that are really rough on long-range characters.
Oh, Jonathan tried to escape, but Evelix is not having it.
Unfortunately, even going fast will not always save you, you poor Lucio mans.
Yeah, headshot's a headshot. Let's see how their next attack goes. You see the Hammond trying to initiate in. The pile drive goes down, but it's not going to land on the bottom floor as intended, so he won't get that buff to the shields.
Oh my, that nano echo is a very powerful force right there.
Nothing like a nano.
Nothing like Nana's nanos. Or Nana's nanos.
Now the disrespect begins as they push very far up past the initial choke. They will repeat, not gonna overextend, if you will.
I just realized we have repeat on the echo.
Yep.
What an incidental pun.
Oh no, he got the Bastion. Repeat got the Bastion. They need to be looking out. Repeat's got the tank configuration already online in this echo form, and he's gonna go ahead and get nutty with it. Finding 2 kills very early on. There's not much left of the Weepstar's attack.
Echo is honestly just a living spawn room with free ultimate.
Rough to see, rough to be a part of, but this defense right now from from Weepstars is all smooth.
We do see a lot of ults on the side of Weepstars. Or rather, on the side of 500 pound. Potentially that's what they need to push here.
Yeah, Deadlift does have the ult bank to take the point. They just need to make sure they finish off these kills as they come on through. Sound barrier from Jonathan puts them into the perfect position to grab this. So 35 seconds left. They'll be able to take it. I don't think we're going to see a contest, but they're not going to have a lot of time to get on to point 2. And we saw how much trouble Weepstars had attacking point 2. Deadlift really needs to pick the pace.
Oh, we see the Symmetra teleporter come into play here.
An interesting ploy, get your main tanks up on adverse high grounds.
Especially for a tank like Sigma. He loves those positions where he can poke out here characters while using his shield.
Yeah, that mobile shield absolutely helpful in those situations. You can kind of just sit up there. Also, that teleporter gives you an escape where you can go to the ground if they push you. That area is very difficult to get to when attacking. So it looks like they're going to go ahead and commit the Gravitic Flux onto the Bastion there. Transcendence will keep the Omnic up on his feet. But that doesn't look like it's going to turn out well for Deadlift. They are committing Audacity's tank ultimate to the fight, but he's going to get taken out by Evelix on this Widowmaker, who has been virtually uncontested in this defense of the second point.
Yeah, with this narrow point, it kind of gives that defending Widow a lot more strength. There's a lot more positions where she can poke at the enemy Widow and then be supported by her team. well, the offensive Widow will have to take a lot more dangerous angles in order to catch that enemy Widow off guard here.
No one can hide from my
Yeah, but now they've got those sights online, so they can see everything. Bomb comes out, won't find any victims, however. Sigma and the Widowmaker trying to keep themselves alive, and Sigma not able to keep Evelix alive. Will go down, gets zoned out, and now the point is right for the taking. They're up on bodies, but the entirety of Deadlift, they're so spread out. They just don't have the presence on the point to get themselves any real percentage. They don't even need the whole point. Only 33%.
We're really seeing a lot of pressure now that we're on second point from the Weed Stars. And with the Deadlift's ult online, will they be able to pull off a push like they did to cap first point using their ults in such a way that gives them an advantage while staggering them out?
Early picks are going to be key here. If they're not able to deal with Evelix, if McNuby can't win that Widow fight, I feel like it may be doomed. They have the mines there into that back hallway, but that really just cuts off the escape. So they're going to send Audacity up on the Bastion, but supports are just going to jump down to the point. Not really much there. That shield there from Repeat just sets things up for Hawk. They have the Gravitic Flux. They're just waiting for the perfect moment to use it. You know, get the Sigma 9 here at the very end. 30 seconds left. Kills are coming through. They're in a comfortable position. Weeb Stars right now looking to push this last map to a draw and come out of this whole 4-map endeavor 2-1.
An early pick out on Misfit as well, not meaning they won't have a Transcendence for this last push. Nano Widow.
Give Nano boosted Widow a chance here. Is able to find one. Flatman finds the next on to McNuby, and that's going to be all she wrote. We will have a draw for our final map, making it Weeb Stars taking the day 2-1.
What a wonderful night of All-Stars players from Majors. We saw the variety of talent shown off here in both various ways that are very fun.
And there is Edix, quite possibly one of the better Widows I've seen in Owlet. Of course, a coach, so not in Owlet. I'm lying.
I mean, the staff
They're in Owlet. Yeah, they're a staff. There we go.
Staff member of Owlet team. I'm sure that all of these members are happy to finish with this fun night here.
And speaking of being finished with this fun night here, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for myself and ElegantExcalibur. So from all of us here at Owlet, please remember a couple of things. Stay safe, don't be toxic, and have a wonderful evening.
And have a great night for those who are just tuning in. We have once again finished up with the matches today. Weeb Stars 2 to Deadlifts 1. Good night.